And today we are going to be talking about shooting in depth in 2K24. Now, I made this video last year, and honestly, it was a really good video. And a lot of stuff that I'm going to be talking about here will be some sort of uh, refreshers. But 2K24 is a much different shooting game than 2K23. And I argue to say that this is the best shooting year for 2K that's ever been. Now, if you watch my 2K23 shooting video in depth, then you're going to know a lot of this already. But for the people who don't know, let's go ahead and talk about it. How do you become the most deadly shooter in 2K? Let's go ahead and talk about it. So the first thing we're going to talk about is I have on this build a 79 three-pointer with an 86 mid-range. This build is extremely good at shooting, even though it may not look like it, right? This is my center slash back end version of a build. Now what we're gonna do here is we're gonna first talk about let's go into settings first. If you're wanting to learn how to shoot, first thing I would want you to do is go in your settings and turn your shot feedback to off or free throws only. And you need to shoot in the Gatorade. You have to shoot in the Gatorade. Don't go shoot in the training facility. Don't go shoot in Brickley's gym. Don't go shoot in Art of Shooting. You have to shoot in the Gatorade. Why? Because that is where there is latency. And just like how there's latency in every other mode in this game, yes, the timings are slightly different, but you do not care. Shoot in the Gatorade, because if you don't shoot where there's latency, you're not going to be a good shooter. I'm sorry, you have to adjust for latency. So that's the reason why we're at the Gatorade, right? So turn your shot feedback off, and then let's go ahead and talk about these visual cues. So I would say be on release. Last year I was on very late for 2K23. This year I'm on release. I do this because of the fact that I want the most amount of time to react to my jumper. Now, if you watch my 2K23 shooting in depth video for last year, you'll realize that I said the exact same thing. You need to have your stuff on the latest possible timing, because of the fact that it didn't affect your timing last year and it doesn't affect your timing this year. You need to have as much time as possible to react to the shot variance. 2K23 shot variance was crazy insane. This one's just not as bad. But even still, let's say if you're using the fastest base in the game, like Patty Mills or whatever it may be, having the fastest base doesn't mean that, like for example, let's just go ahead and do an example really quick, right? So I'm gonna put let me make a new one here. That's my jumper if you guys wanted to see. We're gonna put on who's the fastest base. I don't remember who's the fastest base, honestly. I really don't. I know Ben Shepherd is super fast, so we'll just put on Ben Shepherd really quick. Yeah, we'll just put on Ben Shepherd, and then we're gonna put on Tyree Eason, which is the fastest release for am I tripping? I am tripping. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna max this out, right? And I can't get my release speed higher as well, so we're just gonna go ahead and do this, right? So I'm gonna put this on. I'm gonna put my controller settings to, instead of release, put it to jump, right? Let's say this is the best base in the game for challenge reduction. Let's just pretend that it is, right? Let's say it's the best base for challenge reduction, and you go to shoot this shot, right? My shot feedback's not on, so give me a second. Let me turn it on. If you cannot shoot this shot because it's too fast for you, then you're never going to be able, you're never going to be able to use the best like jumper in the game. If this was the best jumper in the game, basically, to put it like that. If this was the best jumper in the game, but you're playing on jump and it's too fast for you, and you're like, nah man, that base is trash. There's no such thing as a bad base. I want to make sure that's clear. I said this last year. There's no such thing as a bad base, right? It's just a bad shooter. Literally, that's it. There's no such thing as a bad base in the game. You can literally cook with any base in this game, depending on, like, if it's the best base in the game, it's the best base in the game. It's not the base that's the problem. It's definitely you. So now, I'm shooting all these shots like super fast, right? But let's say you couldn't time this jumper this fast. I've actually never shot with this before. This is actually insane that I'm making these. So I'm timing these literally just off a reaction of when I think the jump would be, right? And let's say you couldn't time these, right? It just didn't feel natural, it didn't feel smooth or whatever, right? If you put this on instead of jump release, now you have all the time in the world to react to this jumper, which literally makes you a better shooter, because now you're not having to like preemptively like do it, right? You can actually sit here and actually like aim this, well, not aim it, but like you can sit here and like flow with the jumper a little bit more, right? Which means every jumper is basically like reactable, right? So I look at it and then I'm like, oh, I got that time. Oh, my release is right there. Notice how I'm just shooting just a tad bit better, right? That's the whole point of playing on release. It's literally to shoot better. Release is literally you. I know some people, like, at the end of the day, this is preference, but if you're looking to optimize your shooting, I'd highly recommend you always use release. You're giving yourself the most amount of time to react to a jumper possible, and since there's so much shot variance in the game, you're not going to be kind of like screwed by it. Basically, you have more time to react to it, making you able to hit some shots where the latency was just a little bit worse or whatever, and you can react to it because, again, now this is still like a lightning quick jumper, so it's harder for me to react to the latency in this game due to that, but your goal is basically to be able to hit these shots, right? So now, since I basically showed that, that's the whole point of me like playing on release. Now let's go ahead and get this jumper off, because what the heck is that jumper? It doesn't even look smooth. Let's talk about shooting in this game before we get into actually like practicing and stuff like that, and all the in-depth like stuff. Whenever it comes to shooting, first thing we're going to look at is the bottom right. In the bottom right side of your my builder, you're going to see release height, release speed, defensive immunity, and time and stability. The two on the right, defensive immunity and time and stability, don't mean crap. They're both trash. It was like that for last year. It's like that for this year. The only thing that you need to worry about is release height and release speed. Now, let me tell you what both of these are for. So let me break it down for you. So release height and release speed are basically there to determine if you can hit crabs or front challenge reduction shots. So if you want to know if a base has a good front challenge reduction, it has to do what we call passing the eye test, which means, what the freak? Oh, that's weird. Ben Shepherd, let's just go ahead and put on everything Sadiq Bay for right now, right? And we'll put it on the lowest light release speed. Does this jumper pass the eye test? If a 6'2 guard, or if someone's in your face, look at the ball. Where's the ball releasing, right? Well, actually, let me not do it with Sadiq Bay. Sadiq Bay is literally the best base in the game for stuff like that. Let's use this one, right? Where is that ball at? How long does it take for the ball to actually fly towards the rim? That lets you know when the release is, by the way. Whenever the ball flies away, that lets you know when the release is. So, the center green window, right? So, look at this. If a 6'2 guard is in front of me right now with their hands up, is this shot shooting over them? No. So it does not pass the eye test. So let me do this exact same thing, but with Jared Culver. If you don't have T-Mac on a build, Jared Culver is basically the exact same thing. Literally, it's T-Mac, but slower. Now look at this. If a 6'2 guard was right in front of me, would this shot shoot over them? Yes. But is it fast enough? No. So now let's go ahead and do it like this. Let's go ahead and max this out. Is this jumper enough to shoot over someone? Yes. But is it fast enough? No. So this is what I mean when I say jumpers have to pass the eye test. And you know what's the first sign that I can tell someone doesn't know how to shoot in this game? Is whenever they are literally shooting with a base that is too slow. You can't shoot crap in this game if you're using a slow base. I'm sorry to tell you, but you ain't shooting crap. So now look at this, right? We'll put this at the lowest. This is the slowest that this base can be, right? And look at this. Are you shooting over someone? Not a lot, but is it better than the other one? Yes. So this is a good base, right? You can tell already that you don't have a lot of front challenge reduction. But now let's go ahead and put that with the Jared Culver one. If you don't have access to, again, T-Mac. Now look at this. If a 6'2 guard is in front of you, are you shooting over them? Look at how high the ball is. Look at how far back he brings it. Again, defense in this game works as where is their hand compared to the ball, or where is their body close enough to the ball. So it's all based. Now, if you're a smaller person, then like body contests don't mean anything. But if you're like a 6'8", 6'9" lock, and you have challenger on at least silver, then you might get like you might change a shot from being wide open to open because you have challenger right there. But that's it. But in order for you to play good defense, your hand has to be somewhat near the ball or somewhat between the ball's line of sight to the rim. Think of it like precision dunker, but it's for shooting. It's literally the exact same thing. Is there a hand that is literally directly in between your line of sight to you and the rim? If there is, then you're going to get a contest. If there is not, if it's slightly to the side, if it's behind you, if they're trying to contest you from the side, it does not matter. And this is the reason why we use T-Mac for 6'9" all the way to 6'5". This is the reason why we use Patty Mills from 6'4" all the way on down, or Steph Curry if you don't have access to him. And if you don't have access to Stephen Curry, then use Markelle Fultz. Or Trey Burke will be the last one of those four there. But if you don't have access to T-Mac for them, then use Jarrett Culver. If you want a different one, you can use Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen's pretty good as well. Let me go ahead and pick him up. Scottie Pippen is also basically Jonathan Isaac if you're playing on a bigger big. This is literally Jonathan Isaac's base for big. So if you're a big, you can use Chris Bosh, Jonathan Isaac, or my favorite is it goes in the order of Chris Bosh, Kevin Durant, Scottie Pippen, or Jonathan Isaac. So Chris Bosh, Kevin Durant, Jonathan Isaac, and then you can go ahead and throw in Dwight Powell, right? Those are the best bases in the game for bigs. You don't want to use anything outside of the ones that I just named. I'm telling you right now, you don't. The only other thing that you could possibly use would be Ben Shepherd for like these, but that's only for green window. But honestly, I wouldn't recommend you doing that either. If you're focusing on challenge reduction. But if you know for a fact that you're not going to be shooting like those kind of shots, then you don't have to worry about it. But anyways, moving forward. So Scottie Pippen, as you can see, just look at the jumper. Is it passing the eye test? Are you going forward? Meaning, if someone's directly in front of you, are you going towards them? That will give you more challenge. You have less challenge reduction. You'll get challenged easier, right? Is the base going straight up? Is it fading back? How high is he jumping? All of these things are what we call the eye test. Now, as you can see from the Scottie Pippen, which literally has the third best challenge reduction for a build, as you can see, it's passing the eye test, right? So now let's go to another one here. I forgot which one it is. Is Cameron Johnson? Yeah. This is the exact same base, right? Notice how it's the exact same base, right? These bases literally are, you can have so many different names, but they're the exact same base, right? Now, Nassar Little, I actually found this one out at the very, very beginning of the year. This was going to be a good one. I love this base. This base is highly slept on, by the way. It's a good base. Not anything too crazy, but it's good enough to get the job done if you're using like a lower rated or whatever. But yeah, I love this base. It has a really good green window as well. But anyways, so Ben Shepherd is the one that I used before just because I know it has a very big green window. And it's extremely fast, right? But I want you to look at again, is it passing the eye test? And that's the whole point of these jumpers. Is it passing the eye test? And if it is, then it's good. If it's not, then like, so would you think Ben Shepherd or Nassar Little is the better base? I'm telling you right now, Nassar Little is the better base. Why? Because again, you're jumping straight up, you're fading back just a little bit, and then you're getting the ball higher, right? Which is the whole point. Now let's go ahead and go to the Scottie Pippen one. Where you at? Now look, is this better than Nassar Little? You can tell just by it passing the eye test. This base is better. Why? Because look at the release height and look at the release speed. But even if this had better stats than the other one, don't care about that. Is this, look at where the ball is being released at. look at how high the ball is, and look at where he's releasing it, meaning this would be the better base. Now, look at this base compared to the Jared Culver. Now, this base is better than the Jonathan Isaac. Why? Because he's fading back. He's leaning back, and he's still shooting it high. Is the release height as high as Scottie Pippen? Actually, yes. Like, if you look at this one, right? Look at how high he is shooting it. And because he's fading away, it's actually better because, again, it's about, is there a hand that is directly between your line of sight from the ball to the rim? If there is, it's going to get a challenge, which is the whole point of us using fadeaways, like jumpers like T-Mac, Jared Culver, and Scottie Pippen and stuff like that. The reason why Scottie Pippen is not as good as T-Mac or Jared Culver is because this fading away literally makes it to where it's like, it's raising your angle. Think of your ball as like a line of sight to the rim, right? The higher you get up, the more you're able to have like a higher line of sight, right? And the more you fade back, the more you're able to like increase that angle. So let's say you're at a 180 degree angle, which means straight forward, it's like a line. The more lean backing you do, like with Kevin Durant, for example, the more you're able to go from a 180 to like a 160, 150 degree angle to try and push it back to the 90 degree angle of the jump shot contest. Hopefully I'm making that make sense. So basically think of it like you're basically increasing the arch that someone will have to reach in order to contest your jumper, because your line of sight is basically like way back here. So for example, if you put the ball high up over your head, right, they have to, and your eyes are looking over your head, your head's tilted back and your eyes are looking way above, meaning that it doesn't matter that they're putting a hand on your chin. Now they have to put their hand above your eyesight, but not just your regular eyesight, because you're looking straight at the rim, right? Imagine your head looking straight at the rim. They just put their hand in your face, they contest a shot. If you tilt your head back, or you have a leaning jumper like Jared Culver or T-Mac, now they have to put their hand higher up because, again, your head's tilted back and your jumper's tilted back, so now your line of sight is much higher. That's literally what's going on here. This is what I'm going to say, passing the eye test. I know I'm spending a lot of time on this, but I want to make sure this makes sense, because the biggest pet peeve I have is when I play with a point guard who's using a base that has no challenge reduction on it, and on top of that, it's slow. And they can hit their shots, but they can only hit the dumbest, like, open shots, which means like you have to be butt booty open in order to shoot, which means you're just going to be a bad shooter. You can't shoot all the shots that I'm going to tell you about. So you, again, look at my player's head. My head's back, my eyes are back, and the ball's way back, which means in order for them to contest this shot, they literally almost have to jump, or they have to be tall enough with a long enough wingspan to get their line of sight in between this, right? And this is just with Saddiq Bey on the lowest release speed. So already you can tell that this is literally one of the best bases in the game now. So let me speed this up. Now look at this, right? So now this is a shot where it's much faster now, right? So now let's go ahead and add some more Oscar Robertson to it, right? Now we're looking at a jumper that is, as you can see, going just a tad bit higher. A tad bit higher. Is this worth it, or is this really what you're looking for? And that's where you have to ask yourself, which one are you looking for? So now I'm going to go ahead and do basically like a mixture here. Let's go for like 75-ish. And now you're looking at a base where you're putting the ball way back there. Let's go ahead and go up a little bit more. I low-key want it to be like, let's go with this. And your goal is basically to look at how he palms that ball back there, right? So that means now I know it's a good shot, visual cue, just by looking at it, eye test wise. By the way, when the ball flies away, that means that's your cue for shooting. This looks very smooth just by me looking at it. Now, I have actually never used this. I'm literally just doing an eye test on this. This is not my base. I don't use this. We'll just go ahead and save it for right now. Now, there are only 3 releases to use if you're a 6'9" to 6'5". Oscar Robertson, Saddiq Bey, or Tari Eason. Now, let's go ahead and put Tari Eason on really quick. Tari Eason gives you the fastest jumper, the fastest release in the game. It also has a very good green window. If you did not know, your bases have a green window and your releases have a green window, meaning that you can have the best base in the game. For example, Jared Culver is an extremely good base, but the green window on it is not that great, but you can still hit with it if you just know your timing. So Ben Shepherd has a very, very great green window, but it doesn't have a lot of front challenge reduction. Or, yeah, so it's just not that great. But it's good if you're just going to be shooting butt booty open shots, then go ahead and use it. But I wouldn't want to do that. So anyways, Tyree Eason, if we're just looking at it, it's very good height-wise, right? But it's very, very fast, which is the thing you really need to pay attention to. For example, let me put this on the lowest. Look at how fast this base is with me using the lowest speed possible. Now, let me go ahead and put this on Ben Shepherd really quick, right? Now it's an A+, meaning this jumper is stupid fast, even though, again, I'm on the lowest possible timing, right? So now let's go ahead and put it on Scottie Pippen. Notice how this, again, this base is extremely fast. Look at how fast this is. So you have to ask yourself, does this pass the eye test, right? No, it doesn't, because it's not high enough. But is it fast enough? Absolutely it would be. So would it be a good like release? Yes, but you would definitely have to add in some height, right? Because you need to be able to shoot over people, right? So now look at this, right? Is it passing the eye test? Yes. Is it fast enough? Absolutely it is. Again, look at this. It's still in the A+ with the lowest release speed. So this could be a good jumper. Matter of fact, let me just go ahead and save that really quick, and we'll just make a new one. All right, so we'll just go ahead. By the way, if you make a new one, you can kind of like automatically keep your stuff where it was. By the way, that's kind of like a cool little tidbit for you. Anyways, moving forward. So Tyree Eason is good, but the only problem with Tyree Eason is it's only used for releases that are really, really slow. So or a base that's really, really slow. Now, all the bases that I just told you about, Scottie Pippen, Jared Culver, T-Mac, are the only ones you really want to use for the most part. All the other ones you really don't want to use that much. Now, Ben Shepherd is good if you're looking for a green window, but it's up to you how you want to kind of play with that. Then you also have Kevin Huerter. That's another one there. Where's he at? Huerter. This is a good one. Now, does it pass the eye test? No. Which means, again, depending on the base that you're using, you're going to have to move your releases around. So now, since it's not passing the eye test, I know I'm going to have to put Oscar Robertson on this to make this a little bit better, right? Which means I'm going to have to move it this way, and now it's passing the eye test a little bit more, right? But you can definitely tell that it's a quick base, right? Just look at it. You can tell it's a quick base. This is very fast, right? It's very high. So I'm liking how this looks, right? This looks pretty, but I want it higher. Me personally, I would want this higher, right? So now we're looking at, again, it's just passing the eye test. If a point guard is in front of you, 6'2", are you able to shoot over them? Kinda. But the release speed is really what's making this being sold, right? But again, in my opinion, I wouldn't go for that because that's just a little too much for me. Now let's go ahead and look at another one here, T-Man. Where's he at? I don't think I have T-Man on here. I don't have T-Man on here. Yeah, I don't have T-Man. Oh, he's right here. Now look at this one. As you can see, this is really, really passing the eye test, right? Fast, it's getting up quick, right? That's what you're looking for. So notice how. So right here would be literally the most optimized version of this, right? So let me just go ahead and save that one too, right? And we'll literally just go ahead and save a bunch of. I'm just going down the line just to show you guys. If you're looking to create a jumper, it has to pass the eye test. So now since we made one for all of those, let's go ahead and make one for this Jared Culver one, which is literally the best challenge reduction outside of T-Mac. And then we'll make one for. I think I made one for Scottie Pippen already, but so yeah. And then we're looking at this, and then let's see here. This is, as you can see, just from the other ones. It's fading back, so that angle is much better. So now I'm liking this, right? And let's just go ahead and look at this. Let's see. I'm looking for whenever he's actually releasing it. So about right there. It might be a little bit too slow for my taste, so I might move it up a little bit more this way. That's about right where I want it to be. So bing, launch. All right, cool. That's like a little double motion kind of ideal going for him. Let's go for 80. Let's see what it looks like. Bing. That's much more smooth. It might be a little bit too fast, but since I'm planning on release, we'll go with that for right now. And it's just looking at the eye test. Now, so we're going to save all of these. So let me make sure I have these set right. Cool. and we're just random blending, and I'm just looking at eye test wise. And this is why I say when you're looking at your jumper, you want to make sure it's passing the eye test of just like whenever he's releasing the ball, how high it is and stuff like that before you even go and shooting at all. Now let me explain to you before we go ahead and actually shoot with these bases here. Actually, let me show you what that was. So whenever I put my seat on a base, it basically is me. If you didn't know, if you're playing in my career and you don't want to like be messed up for pro-am or rec or like park, drop your release speed 2 notches, and it'll prepare you for what your base is going to be like. Like for example, when I go to the art of shooting drills, I put on my C version of whatever jumper I'm using, meaning I drop my release speed 2 notches, which feels exactly like the latency of like rec, pro-am, or park or something like that. It accounts for the latency because in those artist shooting in the Brickley gym in my career, there is no latency. It just goes exactly into your jumper because you're not playing online, right? And that allows for you to again shoot very, very consistent. So I drop my release so that way I don't like hop into rec and then like I'm shooting much faster because of that. So that's basically what my C means, my career version, or basically offline timing, kind of, yeah, like that. So when I play in blacktop and I'm trying to prepare for like rec timing with a base or a build or something like that, I'll drop my release 2 notches. But honestly, I would drop it. It all depends. It really does. Anyways, moving forward. So now since I have all of these, what your goal is, let me just explain what release height is doing. So release height is basically affecting, are you able to shoot over those? That's the first thing it's going to affect. It's also going to affect your front challenge reduction, right? Because again, if the ball goes high enough and the person puts their hand up, if they cannot get between that line of sight from the ball at release point to the rim, then it's going to start show open. On top of that, that is also your base, like affecting that. But again, we talked about those leaning bases, like Kevin Durant, for example. That's a leaning base. That base is literally made to lean so far back on top of jumping really high. I don't care what the release speed is. The release speed does not matter as much because release height is the most important thing on your build. And let me explain why. So release height affects front challenge reduction, but it also affects, most importantly, your ability to crab and your ability to shoot whenever people are side contesting you. So I'm gonna explain all of this in a bit, but I just want to show it here. So release height affects crabs. It affects your ability to shoot crabs. It affects your ability to shoot whenever people are playing you to the side. When people are contesting you from the side, so they could be like, let's say a defender is hedging you to the right, and you shoot it, even though they're shading to the right. They're right in front of you, but they're shading you right to the right, even with their hand up, and you'll still get an open on that shot if your release height is high enough, which is the whole point of this, right? So again, let me go ahead and make another one here just for the last sake of thing. The actual jumper that I'm using on my my actual real bills here, to the Bay, and then we're gonna go with the Oscar Robertson, boom, and we're gonna go with this, right? So that's the actual jumper that I use. Now again, it's about passing the eye test, right? So again, release height affects all of that. So release height is more important. What does release speed affect? Release speed only affects front challenge reduction. Only. Nothing else. It does not affect your ability to do crabs. It does not do any of that. Which means you need to prioritize release height over release speed. And even if a jumper looks like it has trash release height stats, then you pay attention to, again, that leaning back motion, which is the reason why I say Kevin Durant is the best base for bigs outside of them using Chris Bosh. Jonathan Isaac is cool, yes, but Kevin Durant is the best because of the fact that it has a great green window percentage, on top of it having great challenge reduction, making it the best base because Jonathan Isaac's green window is not as good as Kevin Durant's, but yeah. So yeah, again, if you're using a small guard, Patty Mills is the best. Second would be Stephen Curry. After that, you could go ahead and use Markelle Fultz. After that, you can use Trey Burke. You don't want to use anything else, and in that order. For here, T-Mac, Jay Culver, Scottie Pippen, and honestly, that's pretty much it. I mean, if I had to name a few more, you can use T-Man, you can use Kevin Herter, you can use Ray Allen, you can use D Book, you can use Ben Shepard, but it's not that great, honestly. It just has a good green window percentage. So release speed only affects your front challenge reduction, and because of that, it makes it the most neglectable. And this is the reason why before, let me just go. Which one is it? Let's see. No. Jared Culver. Before, just pretend that this was T-Mac base, right? Before, what I used to use Tyree Eason with Sadiq Bey. I've always loved Sadiq Bey. Sadiq Bey has always been my favorite release since the beginning of the year, right? So I actually used to do this, right? And I used to have like just a whole bunch of Sadiq Bey, and I just used a Tyree Eason to speed it up a little bit. If I needed to. And then I originally went to, well, let me just use all of Sadiq Bey, and I went 100 Sadiq Bey, right, instead of using any Tari Eason, because I realized that as I went all the way Sadiq Bey, I was hitting more contested shots, right, and that's really important. But then you look at the fact that I use like T-Mac, and I used to use T-Mac all the way with just Tari Eason, and I'm like, okay, this base is very, very fast, so front challenge reduction wise, they cannot contest you at all, like at all. But you have to ask yourself, if they're already there, then are you getting any ability to shoot over them? Which is, look at this is not giving you the crazy ability to shoot over, right? If they're already there, this is just affecting them front challenge reduction wise, which means if they are there, can you still shoot over? That you can't. With this one, if they are there, can you still shoot over a little bit? Yes, you can tell just by the eye test, making this a better release already, right? So same thing going here. Are you able to shoot over a lot better? As you can see just by the eye test, yes. So that is the whole point of the reason why I stopped using Tyree Eason. Now, some jumpers need Tyree Eason because they're just a little bit too slow and you need a little bit more front challenge reduction. But if people are running at you and they're jumping at you, you need more release height for stuff like that. And that's the reason why we use Oscar Robertson, right? So now I'm going to not save that because I don't want that to save whatever I just did there. But now let's go ahead and go in here. So remember, release speed only affects front challenge reduction, which means people running at you or people in deadly in front of you, it's only going to change that. But release height affects your ability to shoot crabs, people side contesting you, and people also like running at you. So now we're going to use this first one here. I haven't used it yet. Actually, you know, before we do that, let's talk about release height. Not release height. These. Again, if you're playing on release visual cue, I would recommend. If you're playing on jump, I would not recommend. If you're playing on push, I also would not recommend. You want to give yourself the most amount of time possible. If you watch my 2K23 shooting in depth, I said the exact same thing there. I'm gonna say the exact same thing here. You want to give yourself as much time as possible to react to your jumper, especially since 2K23 there was more shot variance in that game than there is in this one. You really, really, really need to make sure that you are giving yourself as much time as possible to shoot your jumpers. And notice how I didn't talk about defensive immunity or time and stability because they don't matter. They're trash stats. So basically what defensive immunity is doing, it's not doing what you really think it is, like at all. It's literally neglectable. Release height is defensive immunity. Release speed is defensive immunity. Time and stability is just basically telling you're going to get less shot variance, but going from F all the way to A plus is like a 2% difference, making that completely useless. So you don't want to focus on that. You don't want to like, oh, I need to get C plus. That's not doing crap. You're not getting anything from that. But whenever we're going to be shooting these shots, now since I'm going to be using these bases and I have never shot with them before, by the way, I'm not going to have my shot feedback off just yet, but I would recommend once you know your jumper, I would recommend turning shot feedback off whenever you're practicing. But again, shooting the thing and then go in here. Now don't pay attention to your first shot. Your first shot is going to be what we call a latency shot, meaning the game is like not being accurate, which is the reason why I say turn your shot feedback off. But anyways, now we're just going to shoot with this, and we're going to see if it passes the eye test. And you're just shooting, right? Seeing if you can green with it. Is it looking smooth? So it's going pretty high. So I like how it's looking. I'm getting slightly late. I'm constantly getting slightly late, which means where I want to release it at is not really like giving me a green there, which means the jumper is fast. And this is the whole point of me actually doing this with all of these builds, right? So again, I'm still getting slightly late. Cool. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go out here. I'm gonna shoot one more, but then we're gonna go out here and we're gonna show you guys how to find this. Matter of fact, I might as well just do it with. Nah, it's gonna be harder for me to do it with shot timing. Okay, still slightly late. Bet. So let's say, for example, this was a base that had a hard green window, which it actually does, by the way. So we're gonna go in here, and then now we realize that this jumper is too fast. Some people are gonna be like, well, then this base trash, man. This base trash. This base ain't good. Here's what you do: you drop your release the lowest possible, and then you need to see which release is the fastest. We know Tower Easton is the faster one, just because, again, if I move it this way, it's gonna go faster, and if I move it this way, it's gonna get slower. Which means you can now customize your center green window. So I had it here, so now I want to move it a little bit more this way because it's gonna make it slower. Which means the shots that were slightly late are now going to be dead in the center green window. And you want to move this up as much as possible. So now I'm just going to keep moving this up until I'm able to hit these shots just by a few notches, right? And your goal is literally don't make, major adjustments, because you don't want to do that. Remember, don't pay attention to the first one. It's always going to be a latency shot, so don't worry about that. I'm going to shoot here. Now I'm making these shots, and I'm shooting the exact same way. And you might be thinking to yourself, that one little notch did all of that? Yes, I shot that shot the exact same way, and now it's going from slightly late to slightly early. I'm shooting this the exact same way that I shot the previous shot, and these little notches make all of the difference. That was a latency shot right there. These little notches in your blending makes all the difference, because your green windows are milliseconds, meaning that the smallest change can make the biggest difference in your shot. We'll talk about this in a little bit more, but now, as you can see, I actually timed that a little bit later there. That's on me. That's where I want to release it at, right there. That's a latency shot. Another one here. Bing. That's where I want to release it at. It's giving me a green right there. So I'm happy with that now, which means now I'd be ready to take this build into rec, because this is where I want to release it at, and now it's giving me a green. So I'm not going to touch that anymore. Matter of fact, here's what I do. I'll touch it one more time, because what you want is you want to make it to where, first off, slightly earlys don't go in nearly as much as slightly lates go in. Slightly lates will always go in at a higher clip than slightly earlys will. That's already been proven. I said this last year for my previous video and for 2K23, and I'm going to say it again for this year. Slightly earlys are worse shots. You want to time your stuff somewhat slightly late or directly in the center green window. It's been like that for every freaking 2K since the beginning. Which means now I know that I'm having it directly where I want it at. So I know 5149 is that sweet spot for me for this jumper, right? So 50-50, it didn't work as well. This one's working as well. So I'm going to try and up it one more time. What this is going to do is it's going to make me get closer to the center green window, or it's going to make me too early to my center green window. And if that's the case, then I don't want that. But if I'm able to do this and it's more in the center green window, then I'm actually keep this one. Again, I'm actually doing this off the top here. Again, don't pay attention to the first one. It's a latency shot. That's where I want to release it at. So it's giving me that green. I like that so far. Now what I'm gonna do is remember, this is a 79 3-point build, by the way. So let me step way out here. This is how you can tell if you're in the center green window. You want to shoot from really, really deep with a lower 3-point rating build, and shoot deep as crap, right? And see if you can make the shot, right? So it's giving me a slightly late, which means I'm actually really, really good. Now, when it comes to shooting these deep shots, I don't want you to think of it again, oh, I timed the shot wrong. I want you to be super stubborn when you're shooting, because it's just low percentage shots. I don't have limitless range on bronze, giving me a boost to hitting these shots, which means it's all based off of percentage now. Like, for example, a free throw, you can have an 89% of making that, and you can still miss, right? Same thing here. I can have a 60% chance of making the shot, and I'm timing them all the exact same as you see, but they miss. It's just because I don't have the high enough 3-point rating. The higher your 3-point rating is, the higher your percentage is. The more you have a badge, the higher your percentage is. So now I'm looking at this, and I'm just trying to make sure I don't see any slightly earlys from me timing it way out here. So I'm seeing slightly late, so I like this. So Let me go ahead and keep stepping back here, and I'm going to just see if I can hit one more. If I can, then I'm getting slightly late. So this is perfect for me, right? Now, let me go ahead and shoot right here. Also, I don't have any hot zones on this build. So, like, it's also harder to shoot as well, but I like that. I purposely do that because I don't want to have that just yet, because I'm using this right now to test, like, a few different, like, bases and stuff like that. But yeah, let me just take a few more steps back here. That's a little bit too much. Let's just go ahead right here. Boom, that's where I want to release it at. That's a green. I like this. Now, you have to ask yourself, if you're getting more slightly earlies, I would not push it up. So for me personally, I will keep it right here because it seems that this is still within the center green window of what I'm looking for. But I noticed that I'm starting to get a few more slightly earlies, which means I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and keep it right here, and then I'm going to go ahead and shoot from deep one more time, and I'm going to see which one is the one where I can hit it the highest clip, because all of these little micro adjustments, remember the first one's going to be a latency shot. Again, it's not going to be true to your actual timing. Don't ever pay attention to that one. But yeah, we're going to go back out here. I'm going to take a step in. That's where I want to release. Oh, that was a latency shot. That's insane. This is where I want to release it at, right there. And it's giving me a slightly late. So this is still within that center green window. It's just, you know, not a high percentage shot. That's where I want to release it at. It's giving me a slightly right there. I timed that just a little bit bad. That's where I want to release it at. Boom. Slightly early. That's fine. I could have just been a little bit off on time, and that's where I want to release it at. Slightly late. So I'm liking this. These are just not high percentage shots, right? Now, you can make these, right? And also remember that your base affects your green window. So this means that, again, the green window is just very, you know, tight for shots, like way out here. So I'm not too worried about it. But my goal is, can I hit from out here, right? If I time my shot perfectly. Yes. Now, if I did this with the Ben Shepherd base, this would go in at a much higher clip because the Ben Shepherd base has a much higher green window. But this is where I want to release it at. And if it goes in, then you know you're good. For example, if I shoot these exact same shots right here, again, it's a green. So you can green out here even without bronze limitless range. It's just you're going to miss shots that are well timed just because of the fact that, again, you do not have a high enough three-point rating, or you're using a base that doesn't have enough green window, a big enough green window. So now, since I've pretty much like kind of like found this shot so where I want it to be at, I notice I'm getting a lot of slightly lates here, so I'm going to go ahead and push it at the 52 and just keep it there. So I just wanted to, you know, go back and check and see which one like went in more. So it seems that this one's a little bit closer to the green window. I could possibly do that as well, just to kind of see and like kind of test like where this jumper is going to be at, right? So automatically I'm seeing that the release is looking a little bit better as well, just from me like moving that. That definitely looks like a lot slower. So this might actually be easier for me to green. Yeah, I actually like this a little bit more Q wise, because this also does change your Q slightly as well. But I don't really shoot off a Q. I'm shooting off a muscle memory for right now, at least. That's a late shot, but I like the way that looked. Right there, boom, slightly early. Okay, so the 53 will be too much. So I wouldn't want to push it to 53 just because that's where I wanted to release that, and this gave me a slightly early, which means that will go in at a much less clip. But if I waited a little bit, then that's going in right at the center green window. So again, slightly lates go in more than slightly earlys do. So even though that was dead in the center green window, that's the reason why I made that. I don't want that to be a normal shot. Like, I would rather it be pushed back one, so that way, again, if I time it more early, I'm able to still hit that shot, right? So I don't like that. And this might seem like, well, you're greening more with the 53. Why would you not want to keep it there? It's because, again, with all the shot variance that's in the game, if I time it slightly early, I don't want that shot to basically be a miss. I want it to be a green, because if I time it slightly early, it'll still be like a little bit in the green window, but just a little bit earlier. If I time it a little bit late, I can still be somewhat closer to the green window. It's just a little bit late. You want to find it dead in the center, because your jump shot spikes at the very, very center of the green window, right? So I don't want it to be directly on the center. I want it to be a little bit behind the center, so that way if I time it earlier, which is the ones that go in at the least amount of time, I can still hit that shot. So now let's go ahead and do the eye test with this one, which is, I didn't even look at it, but we'll do the eye test just by looking at it. Again, don't pay attention to the first. Okay, so this is the T-Man one. And we're literally going to go to the same ranges, deep, 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 and shooting way out here with this shot, right? This is where I want to release it at. It's showing slightly early right there, so that means it's a little bit slower than I want it to be. Still a little bit slower than I want it to be. That's where I want to release it at. Okay, so it's going in. So I can already tell just by how that went in, this is actually going to be a jumper with a higher release green window. That definitely feels like this has a higher release green window. That's a latency shot. We're not too worried about that. That was actually a bad timing on me. This jumper feels a little bit slower though, so I'm definitely going to make it faster just by a few notches. I can tell that this is where the green window is because that feels like where it should be. So I have an idea of where this jumper is going to be. Again, I haven't shot with these bases. I don't know these bases. That's an insane latency shot there. I'm not a fan of how this base like flows off the jumper. So, but as you can see right there, I'm getting a lot of slight errors. So then you go again into the thing. Instead of calling the base trash, I can't shoot with this base. This base is trash. Like some people are able to shoot with 7. No, I'm not able to shoot. Go in here and change it, and move that center green window around just a little bit. So now I'm going to go in here. I know that Sadiq Bay will be the faster release, I believe. Yeah, it is. All right, cool. So now we're going to move that up a few notches. We're going to go at 60. Let's go at 65 because I felt like that was like very, very slightly early, like quite a lot. So we're going to move it up just a few notches. Again, the first shot doesn't really count. And let's see where we're at with this. That's where I want to release it at. Still slightly early. That's fine. Let's see. We might have to up it a few more notches as well. That was actually on me right there. I'm not a fan of how this base like flows, but slightly late right there. Okay, that's fine. Slightly late. Okay, so notches wise, it might have to go down one because I know that was around the timing of the other one that I timed, so it might be up just a little bit too much. Let's see. Bing, that's where I want to release it at. That's a latency shot. All right, let's see. Boom. Okay, so that felt smooth, but I don't like how it's flowing. So that's where it's released. So okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I am going to go in here and I'm gonna kind of play with this one a little bit more. Okay, game. I hate when it does that, bro. Like, just load into the freaking animations, man. All right. So I might do this because I'm feeling like I just don't like the T-Man base. I don't like how it's so immediate. It's a little bit like weird. Even though time and stability is supposed to be like, look at this. Time and stability is supposed to be better than that one, right? I feel like this one gives you a little bit more like randomness because of how quickly it goes into the jumper, latency wise. You see how his feet, like I don't like that. You see how this one, like he kind of takes that time. I need that time, right? This one is just a little bit too quick. So I might actually we'll go with this since I'm still getting a few slightly early, just to try to see where it's at. But I can already tell that this is a base that I just don't like, just for like how it's flowing. Again, that I'm gonna time that exact same, and I guarantee it's gonna be a green. What I told you, like I'm telling you guys, whenever you start learning these ins and outs of 2K, you start learning where the BS is, and you just learn to expect the BS. So I think this would be a good time. Yeah. Okay. So that's where I wanted at. I played around with it just a little bit, and this is feeling smooth. So I'm gonna step out here, see if I can still strap it up. It's giving me slightly late. That's good. I want it to give me slightly late because that's what I'm looking for. Which means again, these will go in. That's insane. That's a latency shot. Those slightly lates will go in much more than a slightly early would. Right there is where I want to release it. Okay, I like this. That's where I wanted at. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot another one from deep, and then I'm gonna leave it alone because I can already tell it's feeling like how I want it to feel. That's insane. That's a latency shot. Don't worry about it too much. That was me timing that a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be honest with myself. Like, I know whenever it's me. I know whenever it's the game. That's me right there. If I don't make that, I'd actually time that wrong. Let's see here. Get your stamina up, dude. All right. Bing. That's a latency shot. That's, bro. The latency shots on this are insane. I don't like bases that go straight up. I really don't, because the way that the shot variance works in this game, it makes shooting off the base practically impossible. I like bases with a little bit of a step, which is the reason why Stephen Curry is water cash money for me. I don't like this base in general, but as you can see, I can still green with it. So far, it seems that I can hit from out here, so it does have a good green window. It's just the base itself is causing me a little bit of an issue. So I'll keep it right there. I like where it's at. So now moving on. So we tested with both of these. Again, I have not shot with any of these yet. So we're just going to go ahead and go down the line here. We're going to look at it. Okay, so this is the T-Mac budget one, basically. Again, the first one doesn't count. It will never give you the green. I can guarantee if I shoot that at the exact same time, that's going to be a green. You can just kind of tell where the green window is on this. So yeah, this feels like T-Mac. It's just a little bit slower. That's fine though. But the challenge reduction wise, just by the eye test, it seems to be that it's going to be a good strap. Now I can already tell just from me missing that, this has a shorter green window, and which is the reason why I'm not a huge fan of using J Culver. But I like it. That felt smooth. Let's see if I can hit from out here. This is the test if you have a good green window on your jumper base. By the way, good on a low 3-point rated bill. And if you can hit out here, like way out here, then you know you have a good green window on your base. If you can't, then that means you don't have a good green window on it. So I can already tell by the ones that I've used before if they had good. Now remember, as you're seeing all these weird timings and whatnot, bro, don't pay attention to none of that crap. Like all of this is just latency. Don't change your timing. Don't do none of that. I literally do not pay attention to shot feedback, because that stuff will make you a worse shooter. You want to release off of your actual, like, what you're looking at on your player. Like, don't even look at I'm only having it on for you guys, but also to have an idea of like where the release is for right now, because I haven't shot on these yet. But honestly, you can actually take it off, and if you just naturally green a shot, then like you'll know that, okay, that's a good one. So I'm getting a lot of slightly earlies here. So from that, I can tell that I'm going to have to bump this up speed-wise just a little bit. Just a little bit. Bing, that's why I want to release it at slightly early. Exactly. So, again, I'm telling you guys, this is the in-depth of shooting. Now, I know I'm taking a little bit of time, but I want to show you guys. You can literally do this. So I'm speeding it up a little bit. So let's go. That's actually kind of insane. I'm bumping it up quite a lot because I noticed that I was able to green a few of those that I wanted, but I want to see now if I basically shoot these, if I'm going to go ahead and get like a slightly late. If so, then I upped it up too much. You just kind of get an idea of like how like you're gonna have to move these things around. So that's where I want to release it at. So it's still giving me a green. So I think I'm already pretty set with this. Let's see. Let's take a step back. If I get a slightly late, I like it. Okay, I like it so far. I like it. I'm liking it. I'm getting it slightly late, so that means that it's closer to the center green window here. That's feeling me. I timed that a little bit bad. We'll talk about latency shots in a bit. This is beautiful. I could tell whenever I felt it. That's where I want to really. That's like a flowy one. Like it's flowing. Bing. That's where I want to release it at. Yeah, I'm using this. This is what, again, a 79. These are somewhat limitless range. Limitless range will prop for shots like these, and I'm able to still hit these out here. Bing. That's where I want to release it at, and that's a green. So now, this is literally like perfect for me, right? I'm not using anything else. Slightly late, beautiful. Again, that's more of, again, the percentages are not in your favor, so you can still make them, but they're just not going to go in at a high clip because of the fact that you can time it perfectly. And again, that's where I mean when I say be stubborn. Instead of sitting here changing your timing around or anything like that, don't change your timing. Shoot it exactly how you want to shoot it. just let the game like do what it does, but your goal is to shoot the ball where you know you want it to be at. And the moment you find your center green window and you're like, this is where I want to release a shot at, right there, that's where I want to release it at. I'm not sitting doing more to it. So I know for a fact I'm not touching that again. I love that shot. That shot, I actually like. I'm gonna put a star on this because I'm actually gonna like. I'm gonna use this as my jumper for this build from here on out now. Now let's move up. And it's the same one, but this is the other one that I use. Okay, cool. Make sure I have it actually equipped. I don't think I changed it. Did I change it? Yeah, I did. Cool. So now we're gonna do that same test, but with this one. Now this is the one that is similar to the other one, so I don't think I'm gonna struggle with this one quite a lot. Because it's just the Oscar Robertson. This one has a lot. As you can see, that ball goes way up there. So challenge reduction wise, you can already tell this is gonna be like a. I mean, look at that. That ball is way out there. They're not contesting this shot, right? This is the jumper that I use, but with the T-Mac base on my other builds, with just like one more up on the thing. So I feel like I know this like cue a little bit more. Let's see if I can green from way out here. It's definitely a little bit early. Being definitely a little bit early. Being that's where I want to release it. Yeah, this is money. This is cash money magic. So from what I'm noticing, just from what feels again consistent with me, and I'm getting slightly late. Perfect. Okay, so I don't need to touch this. This is the jumper that I use on my other builds, except I'm using T-Mac base. This was just a little bit slower than the T-Mac one, but it's the exact same like animation for the base. It's just it's a little bit slower, which doesn't really mean that much. It's more about the challenge reduction. So as you can see, this is cash money with a 79 three-pointer, 86 mid-range just for the open looks on gold. And I don't even have all my badges on this build as well. As you can see, I'm able to cash from way out here, which is the whole point of this build, right? Again, slightly late, beautiful. That's exactly what I want. Whenever you're timing yourself how you want to time it and you're getting slightly early, you need to up it up. So this is good. So I'll put a star on this one as well. Hold on. I'll just put 1 star because I don't like it more than the other one. This one is definitely better than this one for me. Now, if we look at these two, right? This one's going right there. This one, look at how they're almost the exact same. Now, which one would you think is better? This one or this one? I want you to look. It's kind of hard to see because the customized hub, but look at where the ball is and look at the angle of the ball. So this one would have more challenge reduction, not because of the anything other than like how the ball is flicking off. Again, look at the angle, right, and look at this angle, right? So this one, as you can tell, this one is going back more, right? It's going back more, and from that angle, the ball is a little bit higher than that one. Even though this one technically like is slower, it does not matter. This one will definitely give you more challenge reduction than this one. So yeah, and that's literally how you go ahead and do these tests, right? So I just did this test with all of these. I was able to make all of these bases literally like cash money magic, right? So that's literally what you want to do. Now let's go ahead and talk about again latency shots. So we're going to go in here and we're going to turn off shot feedback. Let's go ahead and use the one that I liked the most. Actually, we'll just go ahead. We'll use this one. I like this one more. And we're going to use this. All right. Remember, the first shot doesn't count. And your goal in here is literally to be as stubborn as crap. Once you find your release timing, don't change it. Like, so now I know where it's at. My goal is now to sit here and just keep timing these all exactly how I know I want to time them. And your goal here is to look at your cue. Now, what you're shooting the ball off of is literally the ball itself or your base. Don't shoot off of your hands. It's a little bit more inconsistent this year than it was last year. Your hands can lie to you. Your everything can lie to you except your base and the ball. So whenever you're looking at your jumper, you want to shoot off of the ball where the ball is in the air. So for example, like as I'm dribbling up back, You notice how the ball kind of stuttered there for a little bit. That would be considered a latency shot. That would change your timing just a little bit, right? That one went straight into it, and I was able to react to it just a little bit better. Now, these would all, I can tell that those are giving me different times because I didn't make the shot, and I'm timing them all the exact same, right? But that's the whole point of us actually looking at the ball. Now, if you look at the ball, it can kind of get you in trouble a little bit because it's a little bit harder to kind of like look at it and react, which is the reason why I just simply look at my base, because my base is always, I looked at my base there, it's always going to be the one that just flows the most, because the base flows directly with the ball every single time, right? And if you look at your base, the ball will always like flow with it. So I shoot off my base this year just because I feel like that's where I'm the most, that's a latency shot, that's where I'm the most consistent, right? And your goal is to be as stubborn as possible, to never ever ever allow whatever the challenge, like the shot feedback says, oh, you timed it very late. I ain't timed it late, bro, I swore that was. Don't worry about all that. Shoot it how you know you want to shoot it, and just be honest with yourself, like, yeah, I timed that a little bit wrong. Like, for example, I timed that wrong, I can tell that. And just be honest with yourself, and this will make you a better shooter, because now you're not relying on shot feedback in order to hit your shots. And not only that, but you're not changing your timing. You're knowing off of feeling if a shot's going in or not, right? And you can only do this if you really know your centigrade window. I know the centigrade window of this shot now, which means I'm not scared to shoot any of these. That was a latency shot right there. You'll be able to tell. Everything is based off of feeling this year. That was a good shot. I just timed it probably slightly early there. And your goal is to just keep shooting, right? And I'm not really worrying about anything, so I can actually hop into right now and like shoot at a very high clip with something like this, right? I can tell that was a great shot. That was a good shot. And then also even for like dribble pull-ups and stuff like that too. Again, doing the same thing that you did before. Don't look at your hands, look at your base. And that's how you'll know if you're able to green your shots or not, if that's in your center green window and stuff like that. And as you can see, man, the challenge reduction on this, that was a stamina shot right there. That's the reason why that didn't go in. As you can see from the challenge reduction of these and how high the ball is going, this is not only giving you a good challenge reduction for your jumper standstill, but your dribble pull-ups are now going to have a lot of challenge reduction. On top of me using the Kobe Bryant, and on top of me being 6'8", I can shoot these and someone's face and it's still going to stay open, which means if I hit the shot, then I hit the shot, which so that means you really want to like practice your center green window on these, because that's really going to help you out quite a lot. Now that's pretty much that, right? So bing, cool, whatever. All right, now let's move forward and talk about actually like shooting like shots. So now, since I talked pretty much about all of that, let's go ahead and get into the real like details of this game, the stuff that really matters. And in order for me to do this, I'm gonna go into here, into blacktop. Let's do a one-on-one here. And we're gonna load the roster. We're gonna go here, go to 21. Where's my other controller at? Oh, it's right here. 1 second. All right, cool. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab, I think it's DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan, and let's just say exactly what I mean. I think it's DeMar DeRozan. I hope it is. If not, that's gonna be a pain in my butt. Good D. Alright. Let me turn on shot feedback for this, just so that way you guys can see what's going on. So again, I already have the jumper basically set up to where it's just like the one that I was just using. But whatever. Anyways, moving forward. This is an AI, right? That shot right there, notice how it's saying 59 very late, right? Which means that shot's getting contested. Now, this is me using the T-Mac base with Oscar Robertson and Sadiq Bey. So it's giving me literally the most challenge reduction that you can have for a 6'9" to a 6'5" build. That was great defense. As you can see right there, that shot did not like go where we wanted it to. Now let me go ahead and now put my controller on so I can show you guys here. I did that on purpose, by the way. Cool. Alright, cool. Now let's talk about, again, exactly what we were just talking about. This is shooting in depth. This is the most important part of this video, guys. This is, I'll save this for last because this is where all of the importance is. You will not be able to make these shots unless you're using the bases that I just showed you guys right there. Those would be good at hitting these kind of shots, but this would be the best one in the game, without a doubt. So this guy can be directly right here, right? It's going to say open. Why? Again, release height affects your ability to hit shots like that. Now, I'm not sure what jumper I have on him. Let's see. I'm not sure what jumper, but I'll be right here, right? Oh, it's the same one. That's cool. Bet. He has his thingy timing on though, which is making it harder to hit. But again, so he's standing right there, right? He can even have his LT held, right? Hand down, man down, right? It does not matter. You're greening that shot, and the reason why you can green these at such a high clip is because, again, you have challenge reduction in your shots, and these are shots that go in at a very high clip, right? So now, again, he's right here. This is, look, I still had a green one, which means I could have greened that shot, right? Even though he doesn't have, he has that weird bar on, so don't worry about him too much. But now let's show, again, someone on the side of you, right? Holding LT, completely on the side of you, right? That's going to say wide open, right? These are not contested. These are straps, right? That's literally how the game works. Oh, he has the Tari Eason on. That's why his is so fast. I finally get why that's happening. Anyways. All right. Cool. So now, again, same thing, but he'll be behind me, right? This will be a crab, right? This is all of these shots that I've just shown you so far. This is a crab. This is a crab. This is a crab. Like, I shoot that. That's still a crab, right? Well, that animation he got made that not a crab, but like, for example, if he's right here, right, this is a crab. All of these, like that, right, until he moves over, this is a crab. So like this might not look like a shot, but look, he held LT. That's a shot. I just missed it, right? I timed it wrong. But yeah, all of these are great shots. Like even right here, right, this is a strap. All of these are open straps. I'm just missing it. So because of that, you wouldn't be able to hit these shots with another kind of like build. So now let's talk about like hands up defense, right? He has his hands up. He's right there. Notice how it's giving me a contest now, right? Why is it giving me a contest? Because again, these are like not like crab shots, right? Which means that's where your release speed kind of takes into play, which is the whole point of you kind of like playing defense like this. So now like this shot right here, this is a good shot. That's actually a makeable shot, right? Why? Because of the fact that his hands are on the side of me. And yes, it's giving you like a little bit of a contest, but that doesn't really matter. That contest really doesn't matter. I don't want you guys to really worry about that contest. Just because a jump shot said it's contested doesn't mean that it's not makeable. I'll go ahead and prove that again here. Okay, so we'll do this. His hands are up. I can shoot this and I can make that shot. I can make that shot. I just timed it wrong, right? These are all good shots. Like I want you to shoot these, right? And it's all due to the eye test. Are they able to get in a way of like able to stop you there? So like for example, let's say he's right here. Or he's like right here. He's too far back. This is a shot. You get what I'm saying? All of these shots are good shots. Every single shot that I've taken so far, except the ones that showed the red, are good shots. So now let's say I shoot it, and he jumps. You can make that shot. I just timed it very, very bad. So let me go ahead and do that one again, right? So let's see here. Boom. Put him a little bit closer, about right there. and I'll make him do that, right? That shot is makeable, like extremely makeable. Just because they jump doesn't mean that like the jumper's like bad or something like that, right? It doesn't mean that at all. That just means they jumped. If they jump, like for example, he's gonna jump from right here. It's hard for me to do this because I'm holding both controllers right now, but like that's a makeable shot, right? Even though he jumped at it. Look at the contest. And this is the whole point of what I've been trying to show you guys. Let's see. I'm gonna have to. All right, give me a sec. That's a makeable shot too. All of these shots are makeable. Well, that's proof that I'm just timing a lot of these wrong too. Again, it's not. It's as close as it can be to rec or park timing, but it's not like exact. So we'll go ahead and do it like this. Let's say he's right here. He got hit through a screen. He jumps at that. You can make these shots. And I'm having to time it to where it's a little bit like weirder. So I'm gonna do it like this. This right there. That's a makeable shot, right? It's hard for me to get this direct. Let me just do it off the AI, bro. It's a little bit harder to showcase. It's making it. I'm making it like a horrible showcase, low key. So let's just do it like this. All right. That's not a makeable shot, right? Because he's right in front of my face. His hands are up. He has over he has over 80. I think I gave him 85 perimeter defense, and he has 91 steal. So this is actually, you're going against like he has 87 perimeter defense. You're going against an actual lock. You know, he has long wingspan. Again, like this is a strap. That's actually a shot that I could make right there. Like you can tell just by again doing the eye test. If the eye test looks like you can make that shot, then you can make that shot, right? So let's go ahead and keep shooting here. I'm gonna just kind of show you like what are straps, right? Guys be clamping up though. I probably should have did this on 2v2. Okay, this is a strap no matter what, right? That's a good shot, right? And that's because again of the releases that I have, they help with your dribble pull-ups too. But also just again the way that the game is kind of coded here. So like for example, if I just run, that's a strap, right? That's a bucket on the AI, right? So again, you can score on AIs. There are levels to like being able to score on AIs. You just have to know how to do it. It's not giving me access to the one that I want. Like I need to put Chelsea Gray on. That's like, but this is a strap, right? As you can see, I just timed that a little bit wrong. Don't worry about the contest there. The contest don't really matter. That's good, D. That's a good shot. Actually, again, remember your whole point of shooting is it's kind of. I'm trying to like find the perfect one here. Like that's a shot. That's a shot. That's a shot. I want to show this. Let me wait till I make one to just prove that you can make these. It's a little bit harder for me to showcase because again, it's not closer enough to rec timing, but it's close enough here.
He's so slick.
That's a little bit of a tougher one, but that was makeable too. That's the perfect shot. I want to show this one. I actually want to show this one. Anytime you get a jumper that shows slightly late and you got a red contest, that means that shot was completely makeable. So look at this. How do I make this go like super slow? Look at that. Is he stopping my line of sight? Again, look at it like this. Is he stopping my line of sight from the rim? From the moment that there's two type of contests in this game, right? How do I move in? There we go. There's two type of contests in this game. There's gather contest and then there's release contest. Gather contest, he's there, right? Gather contest, he is there. Release contest, he is not there. And that's the exact reason why I got a 52 red contest. But notice how I got a slightly late, which means I could have made this shot. He is not there to stop this shot at all. He is not there. Let's go ahead and show it again here. Again. Boom. He's not there to stop that shot. So, showing it here. That's a good shot. That is a good shot. You can make that. Boom. Now, let me go ahead and try to actually hit some of these so that way you guys can see that I'm not capping you guys here. And that's what your goal is to do whenever you're playing on these builds. It's literally just to. That's not one. Bing, bing, bing. That was a good shot. I could have hit that one too. Hey, we appreciate that. Appreciate those cookies. Bing, bing. Okay, this is a strap. This is a strap. And the whole point of this is to show you guys that if you're using some of the best challenge reduction bases in the game, that's a strap. This is a strap. That's a strap. Again, I'm gonna have to show it again here. I was waiting for me to like get him to bite enough to where I can like actually shoot the shot that I wanted. But again, just using this is actually a hash lock build that I have here. Again, just doing a little dribble move or whatever. Get him to bite one way. This is AI. Boom, bite this way. The moment that I realized that, I'm like, okay, he's not contesting this. He's not contesting this. And this is the kind of stuff that I need people to understand. Unless he jumps at this shot, he's going to have to do it preemptively because he know he got beat, which means all you have to do is do another dribble move, speed boost the other way, and then you can score from this. Again, so he has to jump in order for this to not be a complete green bucket in his face. The moment you get enough separation, so again, I'm just kind of, let me go ahead and do it like this. I'm kind of just playing around, right? Just, again, kind of creating, right? He's biting. Boom. The moment I see that little bit of separation right here, right? From the moment I did this move and this, the moment I got right here, I'm like, I want to shoot this. The moment you get this enough space with the jumper that we have on, as you can see, boom, I go straight into it. Because of the way that the game works with contest-wise, this will never be a contest. Again, look at my line of sight. Pretend that this is me, right? Let me move in a little bit. Boom, right? Pretend you're actually here. Boom, boom. Is this an open shot? Yes. If you put this shot in right here, boom, he is not there, and that's why it said that. Boom, he never got there, right? That's a strap. Every single time. It doesn't matter that they're in front of you. Shoot your shots. But you can only hit these shots if, again, you have on, a jumper that has enough challenge reduction. Bing. I didn't get it there. That one's one of them. I can hit that. And notice how it said slightly late. I timed it a little bit bad. But notice how I got a 6% there. That does not matter. Again, look at the shot that I took. You're just needing just a little bit of space, and this is the whole point of you using the bases that I told you guys about. Whether it's Patty Mills, Stephen Curry, T-Mac, Jared Culver, Scottie Pippen. The whole point of using those is because, again, all you need is just a little bit of separation, like just enough from that one move, which is the reason why I love the Jimmy Butler behind the back if you don't have access to Jamal Murray. That one move allowed for me to, again, bam. I'm like, okay. And you'll start figuring it out because, again, line of sight wise, is he stopping my line of sight to the rim? And it's just like precision dunker. It's just like precision dunker. Again, do him a move, boom. And I'm like, oof, that's just enough space. That look, right here, boom. I'm like, I can shoot that. He's not directly in front of me. He's to the side. He's shading. If you're shading to the side, you're gonna get cooked by shooters who know how to shoot. Again, line of sight wise, boom. Is he ever in my line of sight? This was a makeable shot. Boom. Now, let me go ahead and zoom out just a little bit. Look. Let me move out just a little bit more. Look. He's not there. This is a makeable shot. Appreciate you guys. Bing. I could have shot that. That's a shot too. Same thing there. I'm literally just doing this, and you can do this on AIs, by the way. This is how I score on AIs. I'm literally just trying to cook them just from doing left-right stuff. Again, I'm literally just, boom. I could have shot that one, right? Boom. Again, all you have to do is pay attention to the line of sight. Right there, I have a line of sight to the rim. This is like if I was driving and I did a precision dunker, this is going to be a dunk, right? Boom. But I didn't trust it right there, so again, problem on me. But boom, do it, boom. I could have shot this one as well. And I did. Boom. Bucket. I want you guys to know that this game is all about the eye test. Whenever you're shooting in the game, you're shooting off of reaction, right? Give me that right stick ripper. You don't know how to play defense? Go watch my video. Boom, boom. I could have shot that. I didn't want it. Boom, speed boost. That's not a strap, but I can still hit that shot. That shot gave me a speed up because of the kind of shot that it was. So again, boom, that's a strap. This is a strap. No matter what, that's a strap. It gave me a 6%, but I want to show you guys something, right? So, bing, 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 right? I'm just trying to find just enough separation to where I know I can get my shot off. Boom. Again, shooters know exactly how much space they need in order to shoot. Once you get the shot IQ down, this is all shot IQ building here. Boom. You go in here. Look at this. I just do a simple speed boost. Again, didn't get the one I was looking for. Boom. Let me just speed boost this way. If you don't know what this is the same hand hesi speed boost. I talk about it in my ultimate scoring guide. Go watch that. Boom. I speed boost this way. And look. I'm there. Boom. He's not contesting the shot. These are all straps. If you know your jumper's timing, if you know your center green window, and you configure your center green window right, and keep in mind, I'm also like trying to I don't want to focus on the ball. I want to focus on the player here. I'm trying to basically, how can I say it? Adjust my timing for this, even though it's not like direct because there is no latency here. Again, all of these are straps. Again, I go up. Look at the contest. He's not contesting anything. Look. Release contest. I mean, gather contest. Is he there? No. Kind of, but not really. Release contest. He's definitely not there for the release. So what kind of contest did he get that gave him a 6% right here? Gather contest. This hand right there. That hand right there that's what gave me that 6%, right? And once you learn how the game works, this is the reason why we have bases that shoot really, really high up, right? And notice how, again, remember how we talked about that lean back that we talked about, right? Boom. If you do not have a jumper that lean backs, like for example, if I had Scottie Pippen, this would have gotten a much larger contest, should I say, right? Just because, again, he doesn't lean back, but because I'm leaning back, look at how my eyesight the ball. He is not there, right? Look at that. That's the whole point of what I talked about, that lean back. I'm way out here. And I'm shooting it out here, meaning he is not interrupting that ball's line of sight to the rim. Now, I'm going to go ahead and shoot a bad shot, and I'm going to show you why it's going to give you the contest that it's talking about. So that's a strap. Look, it said open. That's actually an open shot. AIs know this better than we do. So let's go ahead and do this, right? Boom. Look at this. Look at this. Boom. Defensively, am I there? Gather. Nope. Am I there? Release. Nope. That's a strap. Even though I'm right there, that's a strap. Right? So he just didn't make it. But anyways, moving forward. So I'm going to shoot a bad shot, right? So I'm going to just bite off this smooth. That's low-key a great shot. That's funny. And it said 10%, but that's a great shot. Again, showing it in depth here. Again, I told you guys that it was going to be a long video, but I wanted to make sure it's thorough. So anyone who's struggling with this, again, I just do a simple move, right? On that AI, by the way. And AIs have the best defense in the game. Boom, a simple move. And I'm like, he's not there. The moment that they're not there for the gather, I'm shooting it. And if they jump for the release, they're going to get a red contest if they have a good wingspan, or if they have like good like perimeter defense. But you're still going to make the shot. You just have to have at least some sort of like good shooting going on to where like your attributes got raised up. So again, one thing you have to keep in mind with this game is as you play the game, your attributes fluctuate, which means if you have a 89 3-pointer or an 85 3-pointer, but you're shooting good, that crap can go all the way up to like a 98 if you're shooting good. To the point to where the moment you have 99% towards your takeover and you pop that stuff, you pretty much have like a 99 3-point rating, even if you have an 85. Which means, again, remember how we talked about how I was shooting that deep three with that 79 3-pointer? Again, your attributes fluctuate, which means you can have a 79 3-pointer and be able to hit really, really deep. Just because you shot your first shot and your attributes went up, or you play good defense, your attributes go up, right? So, boom, that's the basic momentum system of this game. Your attributes go up. I don't want to think of you guys as like as a momentum. It's not really momentum. It's literally the game raising your attributes. And I can actually prove this to you here. Uh, let's see here. Game stats, box score. Let's go Zach Levine really quick. And let's do view player card. We're gonna do view attributes. Um, None of his stuff is going up because he's having a bit of a bad game, so we're not gonna do him. Let's go ahead and do DeRozan. Look, my mid-range went up and my three-point shot went up to a 99. You know what this means? It means it boosted these, right? All of these got boosted. My mid-range on this build goes to 83, but now it's a 91 just because I've been shooting good. This is proof that, again, the game, look, it boosts my post fade, it boosts my shot IQ, it boosts all of these stats that you're actually using because of the fact, again, that you're shooting well. So, again, even if you're shooting well, the game will reward you for it. So I want you guys to pay attention to stuff like that, because a lot of people will literally like not like have like, again, if you're going for a badge, then go for the badge. But if you're not going for the badge, then don't worry about it. This is why we're able to get away with low attributes, right? So again, boom. And I'm like, dang, I'm low-key balling. Like, for example, my center, I'll show you guys in a bit, but again, this is a good shot. Is he there for the gather? No. Is he there for the release? A little bit more, yes. But he's not really there for the gather. And that's why he got a 10%. Because look at where he's at on the gather. Kind of there, kind of not there. But the release, he's a little bit more there. But is he affecting this line of sight? And that's what you have to ask yourself. If I shoot this now, am I shooting over those? The answer is yes. I shot over him. He's not contesting that shot. And this is the reason why we have on the release that we do. That was a great shot by him too. He could have made that. Even if I jump, I want you guys to see that was a great shot that he just shot. I'm tired of them doing the ball. I don't want him to focus on the ball. I'm gonna focus on the player. Look at this. That was a great shot. And that's the reason why he got a little 12%, because I'm there for the gather, right? And that's the reason why I got the 12, but I'm not there for the release. Look at how late I jump, right? Even if that's a shot he could have made easily, right? Which is the reason why dead eye blinders are literally the most important ones here. Boom, that's a shot. This is a shot. And look, I'm literally doing the exact same stuff over and over and over and over again. As you can tell, I'm really starting to find my my timing on this sort of timing here. So let's go ahead and move it over because I don't want to be on the ball. Again, I'm just doing the simple stuff. Literally just like standard dribble moves again. Boom. I'm looking and I'm like, could I shot that? He's a little bit in front of me there. I could have shot this. This could have been a strap too, but I didn't like how like the spacing of it was. You're going to find that feeling. So I'm like, okay, let me just bite. Boom. I'm biting. And I'm like, look at that, man. He's still running. Because you also have to know like how, if you play defense in this game, the best shooters are going to be the best locks. The best locks are always going to be the best shooters, because you know for a fact that, like, dang, when I'm in this situation where I'm running, they never let me get a good contest. If I press the right stick up, it's going to give me that late contest, which means, like, I'm going to have to jump with this shot. And when you know stuff like that, because that's how the game works, you'll know that, like, he's not contesting the shot, bro. Like, look at this. He's not contesting that shot. It's going to give them that contest animation. That's a strap. He's not there for the release or the gather, right? At all. So yeah, like, that's a great shot. And it went in. That's a great shot. And I promise you guys, you're much more open than you realize. And he's using Tyree Eason. He's not even using that's all Tyree Eason right there, which means his release is just quicker. And this is why we say that, again, Tyree Eason is a good release, because it makes your jumper faster, which is good, because if, let's say, you have more height here, that could have allowed me more time to get there, because his height is good enough for the angle, right? As you can see, ball-wise, is he stopping my line of sight? No. Look at my line of sight from the ball. Well, let me do it like this. From the ball, look, is he stopping my line of sight from the ball to the rim? No. It means it's a makeable shot. The only way your shot is not makeable is if they literally stop the ball's line of sight to the rim. And that's the reason why this shot, great little somewhat defense, but that's an open shot. And this is the reason why I say this is the best that 2K has ever made shooting ever, because these shots are NBA level shots. And this is the reason why I hate playing with bums. because they're playing this game like it's 2K, and this game is getting more and more realistic to what NBA shots are like. And this is the best shooting that 2K has ever had, because these are good shots. I'm sorry, but great defense always beats great. Great offense always beats great defense. That was a shot right there. I could have hit. That's a strap. That's a strap. That's a strap. I could have made that. I just missed my timing up. But look at this. Look, boom. Pretty much everything I'm shooting from this AI, he's getting scored on. Why? Because these are all straps. He's not there for the release. That's a strap. I just missed it. Just because a shot says you're contested doesn't mean crap. Like, at all. Like, this is a strap. Now, he jumped at that one. He jumped at that one. I love that he jumped at that one. That is perfect. I wish I could have, like, prepared for that or whatever. But, I'm going to see if I can get him to jump at another one, because I want to show you that just because they jump doesn't mean anything either. Let's see here. So, bing, 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 bing. He didn't jump at it, but I didn't want it to be that one. I was hoping that he would have jumped. I wanted him to jump, because I'm trying to show you guys something, not just like me making shots, because making shot is easy. That's the easiest part of the game. But I'm trying to show you like the challenge system. So, again, this is an NBA shot. This is a Devin Booker shot, a Kobe Bryant shot, right? Again, look at this. Look at this. Is he there? No. He is not there. Even if he were to jump, right? He would, if let's say I'm right here, right? And who's thinking that I'm going to shoot from this? Nobody. Nobody thinks I'm shooting this shot. Because this is like, oh, I'm going to get a contest. If you have on the releases that we have, right? If you have on a dribble pull-up that gives you a lot of challenge reduction, for example, Kobe Bryant, if you're 6'9 to 6'5, Kobe Bryant is the best. As you can see, you jump really, really freaking high. You also fade away, and you pair that with, again, the releases that we talk about. This is a strap, all right? Now, I'm going to do all of this with a different shot, and I'll show you guys that you don't get the exact same result. So, cool, I won the game, cool, whatever. All right. Cool. So now let's go ahead and change these animations on Homeboy here. And then I'm going to show you guys how you don't get the exact same result. So let's see here. I forgot how to do this low key. There we go. And we're going to go to my, hold on, tough, Mark DeRozan. Bruh. Let's create a roster. I'm tripping. Bruh. Boom. There you go. I was tripping for a second. Give me a sec. All right, cool. So now we're going to go in here and we're going to change this from T-Mac base to, let's see. Let's go ahead and use one that's slightly worse. Still good, but still slightly worse. Let's use Kevin Huerter. One that a lot of people talk about. Let's see, Kevin Huerter. Boom. So again, same releases, right? Same height or whatever, right? But as you can see, eye test wise, it's not getting super high up. So that's good. Matter of fact, let's use Scottie Pippen, because I low-key want to show Scottie Pippen. This is another really good one, but I want to show you that it actually does like change like the kind of stuff that you're going to get, because you go straight up. There's no lean back with this one. So let me go ahead and show you Scottie Pippen. Let's see. Boom. Cool. Release timing is very quick, actually. Hold on. That's fine. We'll keep it on that for right now. That's more accurate to the challenge reduction you're going to get in the thing. I'll just adjust it for it. It's fine. But then signature. Where's my dribble pull-up? Instead of me using Kobe Bryant, I'll go ahead and use. We'll use Pro 2, which is one that people talk about a lot, right? So if you're a small guard, this is pretty much the best one that you can use. But it's worse than Kobe Bryant by a long shot. By a long shot. So we'll do that. And then we'll save it. And then we'll go ahead and hop in this thing again. And by the way, this is how like I test all the stuff that I'm talking about. Because even though like some people think that, Blacktop is not the same as whatchamacallit. This game is a coded game. There's only so much that they can change that doesn't affect everything else without breaking their game coding wise. So if you know like how like coding works, it's very very hard for a company to like do that. And if they do, you're automatically going to feel it. So anyways, moving forward, keeping everything as close as we can. I don't want to put any variance. So all we did was change his jumper. And so look, this is a shot, right? Boom. Notice how that's a 33 now, right? So that's a shot that if I shot that with T-Mac would have probably been like, very, very open. So now we're going to shoot the exact same shots. Notice how, notice how that shot before with T-Mac, I would have gotten like a 6. But notice how I got a 16, but I still made it, right? So again, it's still good challenge reduction-wise, right? But notice how I didn't get the shot that I was looking for. Like I didn't get like the challenge reduction that I was looking for. But it's still a good shot, right? So this is the reason why I say you want to use the bases that we talk about. So again, I'm here. Is he there for the gather? Kinda. That's the only reason why he got that. But my gather on T-Mac fades me away a little bit more, but this one just goes straight up. So this works in your favor in a way because, again, you go straight up. I get the ball higher, which means look at how high I get this ball. But look at where the release point is, right? So the release point is here, which means if he were to jump, he would have probably got a better contest at this, right? A much, much better contest at this. But because he didn't, boom, that's a good shot, right? And I made it. Same release, just a different base.
Can't get it to go.
I'm going to go ahead and shoot this immediately. Boom. That's a great shot. That was a little bit of a tough one on me. Anyways, boom, great shot. Boom. As you can see, he's not there. That's a strap. But again, I'm not fading away, right? Which means it's not that I'm not fading away. I'm getting up very high on this base, but eye test wise, that fadeaway motion really helps me to kind of like exaggerate that sort of backwards movement, me leaning back, which were to allow for me to get a better like challenge reduction for the gather here. So I didn't get as good of a challenge reduction because look at where he's at, right? He's there for that gather, right? Which makes him a little bit more there for the release, right? So gather wise, he's not there, but for the release, he's right there. He's closer to the ball than the other one, which means now this is like, again, a tougher shot to hit, but it's still makeable. You can green that. That's a right stick ripper. Thank you, young sir. Game. Oof. That's a beautiful shot. He's supposed to make that. Anyways, we'll just I'll keep shooting the same shots that I shot before. Bing. That's a strap. That's a good shot. That's a beautiful shot. That 5% means nothing. That's a makeable shot because of the bases and the releases that we're using. Again, look at that. I'm like, he's not getting here. Boom. And look, if he were to put his hands up, he would have gotten a much better contest at this, right? But he did. So that's fine. Boom. It's a strap. As you can see, that's all the way in there. That's a good shot. Notice how I reached at him and it still said open, right? Bing. That's a strap. Low key. This is the perfect shot. I reacted to it wrong. That was a different shot. That was a different shot timing than the one that you're used of. You can still make those. Watch, for example, I'll show you. Boom. Those shots like that are makeable. I'll actually just keep shooting those. Well, my ratings are gonna go down, so let me get a little bit more momentum here. Boom. That's a makeable shot. As you can see, perfect example, right? Now, again, it's giving me a much higher contest than I was with the T-Mac, but they're still makeable, right? So, boom. Look at this. Again, because I'm not fading away, his contest is allowing for him to get more close to my body, and look right here. He's contesting it more because of how the Scottie Pippen base works. But because I'm jumping so high and he's not stopping my line of sight to the rim in front of the ball, it's still makeable. That's the only way a shot is not makeable. Great shot. He's trash though. That's a makeable shot too. These are the kind of shots that I'm trying to like go over right now. Like for example, he's right there. Boom. That's a good shot. Look, he's right there. He is right there. You can shoot this hand down, man down. If you see someone playing defense with their hands down, by the time they go to contest, it's a wrap. Especially if you have a quick jumper. Look at this. Hands down, man down. This is a strap. I just missed it. That's a right stick ripper. I'm sorry, bro. Good D. And I know I'm spending a lot of time, but I really wanted to show this. And I'm going to show this with Kevin Huerter in a bit, but that's a good shot. That's makeable. And I want you guys to literally go against AIs and see the stuff that they take up. This will literally teach you completely the kind of stuff that you can shoot. That's a good shot. I just missed it. This is getting plucked out of his life. That's a strap.
He's out there just casting stones.
E. He's like that with it. 8. All right, cool. Anyways, moving forward. Boom. That's a strap. No matter what, that's a strap, right? I just missed it. That's fine, though. Hey, give me that. That's a strap. I felt it. 36%, right? Does not matter. Does not matter at all. This is the reason why, again, everything that I've shown you guys, I wanted to show you guys with the showcase. Again, 36% does not matter. I'm right there. Boom. Straps, right? Boom. Straps. And all of that is only because, again, look. I go up. Is he there for the gather? No. Is he there for the release? Yes. Release contest will always be more important than gather contest. If they're there for the gather but their hands are down, it does not matter. Like if they reach at you and you're already shooting, it does not matter. It's a green. So again, release contest matters most. But again, that's the reason why we focus on release height. Because your release contest is the most effective way to contest a jumper. Which means you always, like I said, you want to prioritize release height. Because release height means you shoot over those. You have a better chance of making a shot, and the higher your three-point rating is for these contested shots, they are literally going to give you boosts. And again, you have Deadeye, if you have blinders, stuff like that, these shots go in at a much higher clip. Great D. And great freaking take too. I said great D. I meant to say great take. That was not great D. Boom. Boom. And all you need is just a little bit of separation. Straps. These are all great shots, right? So now since I've shown that, right? So now let me do one more and then we're going to call this wraps pretty much, right? So I know I spent a lot of time on this, but I promise you guys I wanted this to be very thorough so that way you know exactly how I got this result. And again, I have to give a lot of credit to Marauder as well because I did not use Oscar Robertson because I just used Sadiq Bey and Tyree Eason. Those are my favorite two. And then I learned a little bit more about Oscar Robertson. I stopped using Oscar because I heard that his release green window was a little bit shorter, and I wanted the biggest green window. But as you get better with shooting, you're just going to have to like deal with it, honestly, and just deal with, you know, the timing. But anyways, moving forward, so let's go ahead and put on Kevin Huerter. This one's going to be a lot harder for me to do this with, but that's fine. Let's see here. Kevin Huerter. Boom. Same thing. Everything's going to stay the exact same. Oh, I need to shoot some dribble pull-ups too, so I can show you guys that. Cool. Save roster. Bam. All right. Let's go into here. Let's go into here. Boom. 1-1-1. And the only reason why I am keeping it on very quick is because I want to make sure, instead of worrying about the direct timing, I want to make sure that I'm showing you guys that these are actual straps, because I don't want it to be like they're able to contest it a lot easier because you're not using the timing that you would actually have in rec and the contest that you would actually have in rec. So boom. Very fast jumper. Ooh, he got me. He caught me reaching. Eh. You reach, I teach. Boom. Straps. That's a good shot. I'm just timing it. This is a faster jumper, so it's fine. Boom, give me that. Appreciate you. Boom. This is a strap. Notice how it's giving me a 34, though. Like I said, it's going to be harder for me to shoot that because of the fact that, again, I'm not getting as high up. So even though you're getting a lot of speed, this is going to be a front challenge. Which means, like, this shot, that's a shot, right? And let me explain why this is a shot, right? This one's a shot on a Kevin Herter because of the fact that this is a front challenge reduction shot. It's not really going to be, again, as you can see, release wise, like gather wise, it's very fast gather, which means the ball goes up very, very fast to your set point. And me having these releases really does help out. So he's not really there. Again, line of sight wise, look, boom, he's not really there, right? So that's the reason why I was able to make that. Same thing, right? But if he was literally one step closer, this would have not went in. One step closer. So I'm going to try to show this more because I want to show you guys that the look of your base, all of this stuff matters. Give me that, bro. Right? So Ripper to death. Bing, 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 bing. That's a strap too. I just missed it. That's fine. But notice how he got a 6% on that, even though, like, look at this. Hold on. Notice how he got a 6% on that, though. Even though that's still a strap, but notice how I'm getting contested on stuff that normally would be open on the other base that we talked about, right? That's a 6%, and the other base showed that as open, right? He's not even there for the gather or the release, right? But because his base doesn't jump as high, he's getting a 6%. That's a good shot. Beautiful. Bing, bing, bing. 52 on that. Why? And I promise you guys, and I've heard people talk good about Kevin Herter, and I'm telling you right now, yes, Kevin Herter is going to be good whenever it comes to front challenge, but front challenge is honestly the worst. When you really think about it, if you're doing it off of the release speed of a jumper, which means, again, this is a very fast jumper, and that's cool, and it's going to give you a lot of front challenge reduction, but if someone's already there, you're going to need release height, and because, again, release contest is the strongest contest in the game, which means, again, release-wise, he's there. Look, and he did that kind of jump. So is he there for the gather? Yes, because his hand's right there for the gather. Is he there for the release? Yes, which is the reason why he got that. But again, he's not jumping as high, which means all of these little intricacies in shooting affect your ability to hit this shot. And that's the reason why I got that little weak animation. He did a vertical jump contest, which is a very good way of contesting defense in this game, by the way. I'll show you that. This. That's a very good way of contesting in the game. So, bing, bing, bing. That's a good shot. He's not there for that one. Why is he not there for that one? Because of the hand up like procedure that he got. Boom. He's not there. And you can still, so again, you can still hit your shots with it, right? Because it's fast, right? You're able to hit your shots. He's not there for the gather, right? His hands are nowhere near me, right? His hands are down. He's kind of there for the release. And again, boom. This is an NBA shot, right? So you can make this. But is it better than the ones we showed you before? No. Why? You can obviously tell why, because he's not jumping as high. The release height is not as good as the other ones, right? That's a shot. That's a strap. Again, simple move. Now, again, since it is a faster jumper, if you have the space already and you can get that ball up very fast and hand down, man down, literally that's hand down, man down. By the time he even goes to try to contest, the shot's already released, right? So look, boom, I release it. Look at his hand. His hand's finally coming up. That's completely open, right? So again, it's still a good base, but you're not going to be able to shoot these kind of shots. So I'm going to show you the shots that you can't shoot with Kevin Herter. That's a good freaking shot, bro. You're not able to hit these. Like, you got an 18% contest from that, and that shot would say open on the other one, right? And it's just because of this part right here. Boom. That little part right there. Boom. Right here. I'm trying to get it exactly. That part right here. Boom. Where he's at, and his hands are about to be there. Boom. That part. And that's just because of how this base works, right? This base kind of moves up very fast, but it kind of goes forward just a little bit. And just that little bit of difference there makes all the difference in you hitting that shot or not. And that's the reason why this base, bro, right stick ripper is freaking amazing. I love that. Bing. This is a good shot, though. As you can see, like, I'm sorry to say it, but I promise you guys that this is literally how this game works. And again, if you want to know how to do that right stick ripper stuff that I'm talking about, that's a bad shot. That's a bad shot. And I'm going to show you why it's a bad shot. I'm going already into him, which means he's already line of sight wise. Let's talk about it line of sight wise. So let me make sure he's not. Okay, cool. And that's the reason why I got that little ugly animation right there. This will speed up your jumper, by the way. If you do this, right, so I'm left-handed, right, so I know that line of sight wise, it's about the left hand. Boom. Line of sight, he's right there, right? Boom. That it's kind of not, but he's right there, right? Because I'm inputting in my jumper at this moment. I'm inputting in my jumper right here. I'm inputting in my jumper, right? He's right there. He's right next to my left hand. Now, again, I want you guys to understand this game is so realistic when it comes to shooting. If you are right-handed and you like driving to the right, or if you like going to the right, make a right-handed build. If you are left-handed and you like going to the left, make a left-handed build. And I know people are going to talk about side drift, this, and I'm telling you guys, if they are on the same side of your shot hand, they are going to contest you more unless you have side drift. But honestly, side drift is one of those things where, like, as you can see, this is a base that doesn't really have any real side drift. It just kind of goes straight up. So that's the reason why this contest was so heavy right here. But even if you have a base with side drift, then you want to basically reverse what I just said. But for the most part, even still, like for example, if you use a Stephen Curry has side drift where he goes towards the opposite ball hand. Basically, like if you're left-handed, you're going to go to the right when you shoot a little bit. And that's enough to give you a little bit more challenge reduction, which means if you're left-handed and you're shooting with Stephen Curry, you probably want to basically like drive more to the right, right? But if you're using Patty Mills, then you probably want to go ahead and go to the left because Patty Mills just goes straight up. Now, again, you don't really want to like focus on that too much because at the end of the day, you just determine which side you're going to drive. If you know it, then like you're like, well, instead of me driving left, I know I can get less challenge reduction if I go to the right because I'm using Steph Curry, right? So you don't have to like fully change your build just for that, but you can if you wanted to. But again, right here, I noticed this is a build that goes straight up, and I just did it to the right, which means he was already here, right? I do this move to get him to bite this way. He doesn't bite that hard, so boom. I expected for him to bite that hard, but he didn't. So he stays. This is a bad shot. Why? He's right in front of me. He's stopping that line of sight for my body, which means his gather contest is very, very good. Gather-wise, he's right there. He is right there in front of me. Right? Boom. Go for the release. He puts his hands up. Look at this. He's there. He is there. Now, is it still a makeable shot? Yes, but it's a much, much harder shot. And these kind of shots, whenever they're right here on you, will get sped up. Absolutely, they will get sped up. And that's the reason why, boom. Again, I'm right here. Boom. I have to release that shot, like, right here now. And I released it right here because I'm playing on release. But you have to release it right here because of how that contest system works. So this is a bad shot. Give me that. Appreciate you, cuz. Bing, bing. 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 Oh, it's a strap. The moment I see anybody like get hit with any sort of stun, I'm automatically shooting. You react to that, boom. They're dead. They're cooked. This is the reason why ankle breaker on Hall of Fame is so good for like a point guard. So boom. I'm like, the moment I see him like that little stumble right there. Hold on, let's see. That little stumble. The moment I seen that look, it was cookies for him right there. Bing, I'm shooting immediately. Look at this. Is he stopping my line of sight for the ball? No, he's not. He's a little bit too far to the right now, right? So he's not stopping my line of sight. Boom. He gets there to try and get the line of sight, but by that time, again, release speed and release height, he's not getting there. Boom. That's a strap. His hand doesn't even get anywhere near. That's a strap. Bucket. And that's how simple it is. I got clipped right there. So as you can see, this is a game where he's not there for that either. That's a strap. You can literally just react. Like, however your defender is playing you, like, you literally react. So, like, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, what is he going to do? Is he going to step up too much? Is he not going to step up at all? Like, what's he got going on here? And I'm really like, okay, his hands are not really up yet. Okay, bet. I'm shooting in your face. Boom, that's a strap. I could have made that shot, right? And this is the whole point of this. So, I get the ball up quicker with here, but again, is it better than T-Mac? No. Because T-Mac, that would have said, like, open, and you would have just had a much, like, better chance at shooting that if they were to actually put their hand up, like, earlier. Now, if you're going against someone let me show you how to cook like AIs or cook humans as well. If someone, again, watch my defensive guide if you don't know what I'm talking about. But if someone in this game is playing you up close, right? Notice how his hands isn't up, but he's shading his hand to the left, right? Which means if I drive here, he's going to get that animation, right? I talk about that in my defensive guide, right? Now, his hands aren't up. I'm going to shoot that. That's a good shot. Again, 9%, right? That's insane, right? Boom, give me that. Appreciate you. He's shading me, well, he was shading me to the right, so I'm going to do that, right? Boom. This is a strap. That's a good shot. Now, let me go ahead and do the dribble pull-up stuff now, and then we're kind of going to, like, wrap this up here. Give me that. Appreciate you, cuz. Notice how this probably got contested just a little bit more than the Kobe Bryant would. Now, is that still a good shot? Absolutely it is, but it's going to get contested more than a Kobe Bryant was because of how it launches. I'll show this in a little bit. Let's see. Bing, bing. That's a good shot, right? That's a 5%. That does not matter. You can still make that. Appreciate. That's insane. Hey, good dunk. Hey, boom. That's a good shot, right? I'm just timing that bad. Appreciate you, cuz. That's a good shot too, right? All of these are good shots. Appreciate you, cuz. By the way, this is a 91 steal. You don't really need anything crazy in order to shoot. All of these are good shots, right? And it's just me just playing off of my speed booster. He's obviously not good enough to kind of... Now, this one is going to be contested, right? But was it makeable? Absolutely it was. And a lot of people say, like, oh, like, these shots are bad shots. Like, you can't make these anymore. Just you have to do quick stop. I think the reason why a lot of point guards are struggling this year at going against playing with like small guards like 6'2s is because they have the speed, but they don't realize that you can make these even if they contest those little 5% or whatever on Pro 2s. You can make these. I knew it was going to get contested, right? But you can still make it because if you know your center green one of these are makeable shots. So, boom, give me that. I did the wrong way. Hey, that's a good D. All right, cool. So, bing, bing, bing. That's a good shot, right? That was a very great shot. I just timed that horribly. That's fine, though. Appreciate you. That's insane. I didn't get that steal. Appreciate you, gang. By the way, I'm like a god level lock, by the way. Bing. These shots are a lot faster, by the way, so I'm having to, like, time myself a little bit differently, so it is what it is. That's an insane fucking steal. I'm god tier. Appreciate you. That's insane. Again, go watch my build guide or whatever on whatchamacallit, bro. Like, I promise you guys, I get you guys set. That's going to get contested by a lot. Is that makeable? Hard makeable shot, but it is makeable. Absolutely. That's a tough one. But the reason why that shot was hard to make, let's just go ahead and do a quick little showcase here. Looking at it here, eye test wise, he's right there. Now I do fade away. So again, is he there for the release? No. So is it a makeable shot? Yes. But because of how they made the center green window or the center green windows or just the windows for hitting these fadeaway shots this year, this is a hard shot to hit because the center green window is like a spike. It's not like shooting now, which is more of like a line. It's like a plateau. It's like a Grand Canyon. These are like mountains. These shots are mountain type of green windows, meaning the closer you get to the green window, the higher your peak is percentage-wise. But the less your timing is by the millisecond, it goes down exponentially. Grand Canyon type of shots for like those standstill ones are Grand Canyons, meaning that there's a plateau, a flat-out percentage that, like, once you get towards the slightly early, past the slightly early, it just gives you a flat-out window, and then it drops over time. These are spikes. These are like peak shots. I mean, you have to hit it at the very center, so it's a much harder shot. But is it still makeable? Yes. I'll see if I can hit one. It's gonna be hard, but I'm not gonna lie. Space Creator shots are no joke. Well, these kind of shots are no joke. This is open though. I just really am like struggling with the Pro 2 as well. I don't really use Pro 2 on on this build. Like I'm used to using like my releases that I would have on like my 6.4s and stuff like that. So it's a little bit of a weirder thing for me to get used to here.
Oh, sick move.
Boom, that could be a strap. I'm hoping that I'm trying to get like a really, really good one.
It's business time.
Boom. That's fine, I guess. I wanted him to get there. Appreciate you, cuz. All right. Good shot. He kind of got there, but not really. That's a good shot. So, like, this is the reason why Pro 2 is good. It has a very good green window, but also it fades away, right? So it's still good. This is literally the best one that you can use for a point guard, but it's not as good as Kobe Bryant. So this is one of the reasons why I say 6'5s are a little bit deadlier than some small guards if you don't have Patty Mills, because this becomes a huge strap. Like, this had wide open, by the way, right? And all I did was just speed boost it this way and shot this, right? That's an amazing freaking shot, right? That's an amazing freaking shot. But anyways, so when it comes to dribble pull-ups, it's really all about, again, if you're not going to use Kobe Bryant, you have to use Pro 2. Nothing else. Like, this is a shot you can make. That's a shot you can make, by the way. Even though it said 26%, it's the exact same way with the other stuff I was showing you for shooting. I want to hit at least one of them so that way you guys can see. It's a little bit harder. That's a good shot, bro. That's a beautiful shot, bro. Look. I'm going to tell you why this went in. I'm going to tell you exactly why this went in. Look, bing. This is a crab already, right? This is a crab shot because I am behind him, right? This is a shot. Boom. I try to get there and try to jump. Even though I jump, look. Boom. It does not matter. He already released that thing. By the time I jump, it's over for him. Did I get a good contest? Yeah, the game's going to reward you. It's going to let you see that, oh, yeah, you got a good contest, but you ain't stopped the shot. Just because someone contests you don't mean crap. That is not what I meant to do, but that's cool, too. I should have bumped him a little bit more. Appreciate you, cuts. That's tough. That's a good shot. All right, let's see. Bing. Bing, that's a strap. Dang, I missed. I just want him to contest it one good time, like one of these juicy ones here where you so, yeah, like down right there. I'm hoping, bro. I can't hit. I'm gonna just let him get it. I don't really care. I'm only trying to shoot the fadeaway. I just want to show you guys once that stuff will go in. Bing. It could have went in. That could have went in. Like, very much so could have went in. Boom. Straps, please. That could have went in too. All of these are straps, man. As you can see, like, Pro 2 is definitely good. It's just... It's a lot harder to hit than the other one. Just because you don't get as much challenge reduction. But it's still good. Like, you'll get the job done. That's a strap, please. There we go. Thank you. I don't want it to say open. I want to get one that's like where he's a little bit more in the way. That was good defense, bro. That's tough. I'm jumping on this one. Appreciate you, cuz. That's with 55 interior defense, by the way. No, I think my interior goes to 70 on this one, but yeah. I waited a little bit to make sure he can get there. He's still not running enough, so that's kind of honestly really tough, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get it to where he's going to be able to. That's good defense. That's good defense again. Boom. Let's see here. He's not, honestly, he's not like, let me do it the other, well, I can't do it the other way. That's one of them that I'm talking about. That's makeable. Appreciate you, cuz. That's a good one. Again, he's not getting there, man. Like, I can't spin forever trying to do this, but he's not getting there. That's fine. This is literally like everything that I wanted to show you guys, though. Like, I just want you guys to know you can make some tougher like shots like this. Like, that's one I was looking for. That's the one, and I'd never get it, bro. Like, you can make that though. It's just I'm always running out of stamina when I do it, and then I'm also not prepared for the. But like it's literally this same shot, right? It's this same shot, but sometimes he's getting there, sometimes he's not. Let's just go ahead and rematch it really quick, so I don't have to deal with the whole cold thing as well. Just let him shoot, bro. Bing. That's the one I'm looking for. That's a makeable shot, right? Appreciate it. Appreciate it. This is a makeable shot. These are the ones I'm talking about. These are makeable. The only thing is I'm not really like used to like having these releases on it, so it's harder for me to time it. But like that's definitely a makeable shot too. That's fine. You can go ahead and do that. I just want to hit it at least once, bro, just to show you guys that it's possible. And it's insane. Appreciate you. Let's see. Let's see. I just need it once. Just once, bro. Just once. Strokes, please. Please. That's the one. I knew I timed it better there. Appreciate you, cuz. Bing. That's another one. I can make it. I can make that one. I could have made that one. Appreciate you, cuz. Even there, that's a strap. This is a strap. Please, please, please. Oh, my God. He didn't contest it. Anyways, man, I can't sit here and keep trying to, like, find the one where I get it just right, timing-wise, and then also, like, he contests it. The good thing about dribble pull-ups is there's no such thing as speed up or slow downs. You don't get sped up dribble pull-ups. You don't get sped up nothing. It's always going to be the exact same, which makes these shots beautiful. But as you can see, these are good shots, right? I really wish I could have showed it, but I can't sit here forever. This video is already long enough. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, man. This is Shooting 2K in-depth. I went over everything that I could possibly have gone over. Again, I want you to keep in mind as well that if you're a smaller guard, you do have to worry about, again, if you're smaller, you're not going to be jumping as high, which means, again, it's very realistic in that format because, again, if you are not there, then you're not there, you know, like, now, the smaller you go as your build, the more you have to worry about, like, I won't say even ghost contest, but just BS contest, right? They're going to contest your stuff a lot easier just because, again, you're not really, like, tall enough to really shoot shots, which means you have to create more separation, or you, again, have to use Patty Mills, right? And that's the reason why we can make 6'2s and 6'4s and be extremely dominant at shooting the ball. It's because that's a beautiful shot. Please give it. Bro, I could have made that. Again, it's just you're gonna have to have Patty Mills in order to really like make like a 6'2 build work. It's really hard to make it work with even Stephen Curry because you just get ghost contested on so many things, literally so many things. But yeah, that's fine though. Like you can still make it work. You just have to play off the screens as well. But other than that, man, like this is all the secrets to shooting, bro. Like again, find your center green window, do the eye test, play on release timing, get ready to like go against a bot and learn like again, if you can score on an AI, then you know that you can be a bucket, right? So that's pretty much everything, man. It's Zuko, bro. I don't want to waste any more of you guys' time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you liked the video, like, comment, subscribe. I wanted to make this crazy in-depth. I don't like making short videos. So hopefully you learned something. Hopefully it was knowledgeable. It's Zuko, bro. We are out.